Hello, awesome students. I'm so sorry I cannot teach you in person again this week, but we will be having so much fun singing, dancing, and learning about some instruments, playing and music today. Please always try your best, be safe, and have fun. Let's just first review some instruments and let you settle in. Hopefully you're on your dot spots. Let's rock and roll. So our first lesson is going to be about the instruments, culture, and traditions of not this movie, but the culture and traditions of where this movie originated. We learned last time that this movie was developed in Colombia, in Cumbia, and we're going to be learning about a composer that wrote a lot of songs for this movie and was the influence for this movie. So let's go there now. I'm going to click on this link, and you can write down this link if you'd like to do this at home. Maybe you can write it down at the end of class. That would be better. Okay, so after clicking on the link underneath the picture Encanto, it took me to this world map. Here, take a look. So we have the North American, South American, and then we have African, Europe, Asia. Australia doesn't have any composers on it right now, but let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, so if we go to our South American, we have quite a few. What's this one? Oh, the Calypso Islands. If you click on a composer, it tells you all about where their music came from, or what sort of music you think they might be. Oh, Argentina. They're doing a lot of folk music. Here, you can see it better. There we go. And then, here we go. There's our guy, Gregorio. So if we click on him, because he's from Cumbia, Colombia, we're going to learn a little bit about him. So let's see. Move my cursor a little bit. And here we go. Okay. So I'm going to click on his video here, and hopefully it will be able to play for you. Awesome. So before we begin this video, I ask you to respect his culture and respect everything that he stands for. He's going to share with you a little bit about his history.
Hola musical explorers, my name is Gregorio and I am a musician from Colombia. I'm from the city of Bogota, which is up in the mountains, so it's a little chilly up there. But it was very fun growing up there because I could walk to school with my golden Labrador, whose name was Kukli. And in school, everybody loved to play soccer. So a lot of times in recess, that's how we would just go out of class, straight to playing some football. That's how we call it. Since I was very little, I always knew that I loved music. I would always be playing in the kitchen with pots and pans and at the dinner table, driving my family crazy. And then when I got a little older, I decided I wanted to play guitar. So my parents bought me a small guitar for me to start practicing. And you know what? That first night I was so excited that I got the guitar, I started tuning the strings and I broke the strings. So I was very sad about that. But then later on, I learned how to tune them and I started writing my own songs. So I love the guitar so much that I actually started a band when I was only 9 years old with two of my friends from school. That means that you can start your band if you really like music and you can start writing your own songs. And then a little later, when I was about 14 years old, a friend of mine showed me the accordion. And once I started playing it, I absolutely fell in love with the instrument. It was such a fun experience to start playing a very interesting and original instrument. So after learning the accordion, I got to travel around South America with two of my friends, and we would be playing music all over the place. And in every country that we visited, we learned a little bit about the traditional music. And one of my favorite ones is one from Colombia, and it's called cumbia. So cumbia is a rhythm that started in Colombia when three cultures came together: the indigenous, the African, and the European. And it uses a lot of drums that have a conversation with each other. They're playing different rhythms at the same time. And you also have the maracas and also the long flutes that are called gaitas, and they're played in pairs. And a little later on, we have the accordion coming to the music. So cumbia was created in the countryside, and a lot of the people that wrote the songs were farmers and fishermen, and they were inspired in nature and the landscape. Rain, the beach, the moon, the mountains, all of these words come up in the songs. In my songs, I also write about the things that I see around me. So maybe I'll write about the city, about my friends, and even the subway. I love to perform music, and I've been doing it since I'm a little kid. I still get a little nervous before I perform, but the good news is that I turn that into joy and excitement for everybody that's listening. I love sharing Colombian music and culture because I think it's so rich and it has so many instruments and rhythms, and also because when I teach someone about my culture, I also get to learn about their culture, and I love learning about other types of music. So, musical explorers, I'm very excited that you're learning about cumbia and other types of music from around the world. And remember to have fun while you're playing. Ciao!
Okay, friends, so our first lesson on everything that he said is going to be on a song that's called El Pescador. And this one, he's going to teach you a little bit about the song. Let's listen to this video, a demonstration, and there he is playing on accordion, and there's a traditional drum. Let's see what it sounds like, and let's see how we are going to try this song. Yes, let me say that again. We need to listen very carefully because we are going to try singing the song El Pescador. I bet some of you can already translate it, or bet some of you already know what it's about. But let's just listen.
Hola, musical explorers. I am Gregorio. This is my friend Jonathan. We're very excited that we're going to be teaching you about cumbia from Colombia. The song that we're going to work with today is called El Pescador, which means the fisherman. And this is a very special fisherman because he talks to the moon and he talks to the beach. So we're going to start with the pronunciation of the words. So the first word that you need to know is El Pescador.
El pescador.
The next part is habla con la luna.
Habla con la luna.
The next part, habla con la playa.
Habla con la playa.
No tiene fortuna.
No tiene fortuna.
And then the next part, we have to really roll our R's. I'm sure you can do that. It goes like this. Solo su atarraya.
Ooh, let me try. Solo su atraya.
Okay, so now we're going to get ready to learn the melody. And it's a call and response. So we're going to start by learning the call. So you're going to repeat after me. Here we go.
All right, class, let's go.
El pescador.
El pescador.
El pescador. El
El
pescador.
pescador.
El pescador. El
El
pescador.
pescador.
Now we're going to get ready to learn the response. So repeat after me. Habla con la luna. Habla con la luna. Habla con la playa.
Habla con la playa.
No tiene fortuna. No
tiene fortuna.
Solo su atarraya. Solo su
Solo su
atarraya.
atarraya.
Now we're going to put both parts together and I want you to choose whichever part you want to sing. Jonathan is going to be doing the call, and I'm going to be doing the response. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
El pescador,
Habla con la luna,
el pescador,
habla con la playa.
el pescador.
No tiene fortuna, solo su atarraya.
El pescador,
Habla con la luna,
el pescador,
habla con la playa.
el pescador.
No tiene fortuna, solo su atarraya. Yeah, Johnny. Now that you've learned the song, I want to teach you about the instruments and the rhythms. So I'm going to start with the accordion. And the accordion has the keys, and it also has the bellows. And it sounds like this. Now we're going to move on to the percussion. And the first one is going to be the tambora. And it sounds like this. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to move on to the llamador. And this instrument is the heartbeat of cumbia. And it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally, we're going to add some maracas. So the maraca sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I want to put them all together. But I'm going to take off my accordion so that I can join in with Jonathan and play some percussion. So here it is all together. All right, so now we're going to get ready to play the song. And I want you to sing with me in the chorus. And during the verse, I want you to choose any of the rhythms that you learned, and you can play them along. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ha. Llegan los pescadores con su carga para vender al puerto de sus amores, donde tienen su querer. Regresan los pescadores con su carga para vender al puerto de sus amores, donde tienen su querer.
El pescador,
Habla con la luna,
el pescador,
habla con la playa.
el pescador.
No tiene fortuna, solo su atarraya. El pescador habla con la luna,
El pescador,
habla con la playa.
el pescador.
No tiene fortuna, solo su atarraya. Ha. Adios, everybody. I hope you really enjoy this song and that you keep singing it.
All right, musicians, let's keep learning. So one more thing that I wanted to teach you about Gregorio teaching El Pescador, I want to see if you can help me sing it. I know a lot of you are like, what? But actually, you can definitely do this. Remember, it is a call and response. Here, it even says it in the music. Call and response. Let's just listen to it real quick. He's going to sing the first part, and then we are going to try reading. You don't have to sing yet, don't worry. We are going to try reading along, and I'm going to try and point to each syllable for you. El pescador habla con la luna. Okay, let's see. Here we go.
Va subiendo la corriente con chinchorro y atarraya, la canoa de bareque para llegar a la playa. Va subiendo la corriente con chinchorro y atarraya, la canoa de bareque para llegar a la playa.
El
Habla con la luna,
El pescador.
habla con la playa.
El
No tiene
pescador.
fortuna, solo su atarraya.
Sing it with me.
Habla con la luna,
El pescador.
habla con la playa.
El
No tiene
pescador.
fortuna, solo su atarraya.
Not bad. Now, I know that a lot of you can read in Spanish and a lot of you already speak Spanish, but this is a special kind of language. I need you to try your best, and next time, sing along even more. We're going to be learning about different languages in music because, after all, listen, music is a language. Music is something that's unlike any other subject. So, to wrap up our lesson today, I'm going to switch over from this music in Colombia, and I'm going to switch over to another part of the world, and I believe that will be Brazil. Okay, students, so a few instruments from Brazil, Argentina, and Peru, where Colombia is close to, they all have similar instruments, and that's what we're going to be learning about today. Now, remember when Gregorio was playing the, what's it called? The accordion. Remember, we went over a similar instrument that came from Argentina, the bandoneon, and I'm going to show you what that sounds like. Ready? Listen to the bandoneon, accordion. So think about how the music is actually being produced. Like, how is this sound being made? Is it coming from the buttons? Yeah, partly right. But where's most of the sound coming from? It's coming from the air being compressed, which means pushed together, pushed in, and then decompressed, being pulled out. So it's being pumped into this accordion, this instrument. Let's keep going. For now, I'm going to fix our frame so that you can see things better and I can teach things better. So our bandoneon is all the way from where? Argentina. Very good. So from Argentina to all the way to Brazil. Let's go to Brazil. We're going to learn about this instrument, these last two instruments. Let's learn about the berimbau first. Okay, so here's a video of the berimbau.
O berimbau ele é composto da cabaça.
The berimbau is made up of the calabash, the verga, stick, which is wood, wire, this is a wire, of the rock or dobrau, cachija, and the baqueta, drumstick. So this is the baqueta, cachija, rock, calabash, stick, and wire. This is what I call a complete berimbau.
Verga, arame.
Até eu comecei.
I started to play berimbau at 16 years of age and to play with capoeira. Since my beginning of capoeira, I already wanted to play this instrument. Since I was 16 years old, 16 to 43, there are many years.
43, eu acho que tem bocado de ano.
So remember, students, you are not just learning about instruments, you're learning about the culture. Why did they make these instruments? Pay attention.
Que chamamos
I will play it with the rock as it is the most common one, a flatter rock. Hold it and you can make the sound. The usual method is to play with a kind of rattle, the cachigi, which is another instrument.
Berimbau é tudo, né, na capoeira.
The berimbau is everything for capoeira. For me, it is a way to bring our energy in the capoeira circle, in the training. It helps us to interact with our students. The berimbau brings an energy, an unexplainable energy. I have played other instruments, but the energy the berimbau gives is unique.
É única. Nenhum outro instrumento tem.
Now, before we continue into our agogo, another instrument, here, let me show you. Here we go, the agogo. I want to make sure that you understand where these instruments originated and why they originated there. That's maybe a lesson for another time. Today's focus was to see what these instruments sound like, what they look like, how they're played, and just to get an idea of, oh my goodness, this came from this part of the world. I wonder what its story is. Even the smallest instrument like an agogo, you'll hear the little life story that it has. Let's see if we can learn a little bit about it in our last few minutes.
Welcome to World Drum Club. In this episode, two very common double bells, the gankogwi and the agogo. All right, let's get started. First up is the gankogwi. It's a double bell from West Africa. It looks like this, and it's spelled like that. And you can find out more about the history and the background of the instrument and the traditional uses by looking up the terms ewe and gahu. All right, for now, I'm going to show you how to play it in a general way, a general sense, and a couple things, just safety factors. This can be very sharp, this side, so don't set the gankogwi down where somebody could actually trip and fall in it. Don't put it on the floor like this. Don't set it down like that. Set it down on its side. All right, it's a big heavy bell, so if you're going to transport it or store it with other instruments, make sure they are also made of metal. Don't mix your metal instruments up with your shakers and rattles. Wood blocks may be okay, but I like to keep all of my metal stuff separate because some of these instruments can do a lot of damage to your softer instruments and things like shakers and rattles and that kind of thing. So just a tip for those of you who are transporting and storing these instruments. Holding the gankogwi, I like to hold it like this, just sort of pinch it with your pincher grasp, your little crab pincher, and hold it like that between the two bells. If you try to hold it like this, or if you have a child or younger person or a person without a lot of hand strength, trying to hold it like this, it could slip out very easily. And that, if it lands on a foot, it's not going to be fun. So help people play the instrument safely and effectively by showing them this technique. You've got two bells. So you're going to use a little stick like this. This is a timbali stick. You can use a smaller stick. This just happened to be sitting around, so I grabbed it. I don't recommend full-size sticks like this for children. I think they don't need that much of a stick, and it's kind of like, you know, they can poke themselves or other kids if they're walking around with a big stick like this. So give your little ones half-size sticks. You can cut these in half or use some circle sticks if you can still find those around. All right, so I'm going to hold the bell like this. I'm going to play it on the face of the bells with my stick. You don't have to play it on the mouth of the bell. You get a really good sound just by striking on the face of the bell. All right, so that's about it. You just play your patterns. One tip is that if you hold it at a slight angle like this, instead of holding it up like this way you have to kind of go around. I have to go around the bell to play the bottom bell. So if I hold it at an angle, I can play both fairly comfortably. All right, and I'm going to cover the same kind of concept when we get to the agogo. So that's your Gankogwe bell, West Africa, double bell. They come in different sizes. Interval, common interval between the bells is going to be a fourth, tritone, fifth, minor sixth, and sixth. You can find these with smaller intervals and larger intervals, but I think a fourth or a fifth is a great place to start.
So he's talking about music intervals. Like if you go on a piano from C to D, that's called a second. If you go from a C, D, E, from a C to an E, that's a third. It's just, music is so complicated sometimes, especially when your teacher's not there to show you. So let's hopefully see he can show us our agogo.
These are not necessarily tuned to specific pitches. If you want to try to find one on specific pitches, go ahead. You can look around, try pitch. All right, let's move on and look at the agogo.
Here we go.
The agogo is a double bell from Brazil. We use these in Brazilian music, in samba, capoeira, other kinds of Brazilian music. It looks kind of like a double ice cream cone holder, as one of my participants told me once in a workshop. I know this is a chrome instrument. It might be picking up some of the green screen and showing the background through it. It's okay. It's not, nothing weird is happening. It's just part of the video process if you see that. So it may or may not happen. We're gonna play the agogo with a short stick. I'm gonna use the same timbali stick that I used for the Gankogwe. This one, instead of holding it this way with the bells facing down, you're gonna hold it with the bells facing up or out. I'm gonna hold it like this with the bells turned slightly, not this way, but slightly at an angle, so I can get to both of the bells easily. If I hold it like this, like that, I've got to play kind of up and down this way, but if I tip it, I can play it both bells this way. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so here's what the bells sound like. And you'll notice the interval, again, a fourth, a fifth, a tritone, a major third, something like that would be typical. Now, a lot of bells you get will be springy and you'll be able to clack them together. If you get a fixed agogo where this is stiff and they don't clack together, those are usually made for mounting on something like an orchestral setup or a drum set. Those are a little bit different. Typical agogos should be able to be squeezed together. And we're going to incorporate that sound while we play the agogo. So as we play notes, we're going to clack them together in between those notes, and it's going to give it a whole new dimension and make it really fun. So that sounds like this. So 1, 2, a 1, and taka taka.
I don't think I would be able to do that. Well, I don't have an agogo, but oh my goodness, y'all, that would be really, really cool to play. Let me see if we can finish up our, oops. There we go. We can finish up our lesson. I want to skip to our last slide because today was our last day studying instruments from South America. So what countries did we cover today? Really quickly, we covered Brazil. Do you remember what instrument or instruments came from Brazil? Good. If you were thinking or even said agogo or berimbau, very, very good. Do you remember which instruments came from Argentina? Very good. If you were thinking or even said bandoneon, excellent job. And then the last one that we didn't get to cover, or even our steel pan, was our siku, was our pan pipe. That's all the way from Peru. Anyways, well, friends, again, I miss you. I truly do. I hope you're being safe. I hope you're healthy, and if not, please get better. I can't wait to see you when I return. Be kind as always as you are to me. Show respect. Tell your substitute, please. Tell your substitute thank you, and I hope you all have a great day. I appreciate you. Bye.